Now, Jenna, this book called I'm Not a Girl teaches children the process of transitioning genders and is written for children 5 and under. Jenna, are 5-year-old children mature enough for this topic?
Well, not at all, but this isn't about what the child should be learning, but it's all about programming, not education. And that's what the left knows, because the moment that a child is born, and let's not forget that the left wants to kill children until literally the minute they're born. And if somehow they survive abortion, the left now knows that children naturally start learning the truth. They start learning about the natural world around them, about human sexuality, about the difference biologically between men and women. And so the left has to try to start reprogramming them to believe a lie as soon as they are born and as young as 5 or even 4 years old, because they know that children will naturally grow up in the truth. And so they have to continue to perpetuate this lie to try to get them away from the truth and away from understanding God's created natural order of things. The church needs to step in and be involved. And of course, every American who cares about the truth needs to protect parental rights in education.
You know, Jenna, going back to this first book that I mentioned, where we're speaking of truth and where it comes from, that book, in the description, it says that the institutions are made by people and people are evolving. And they also said that, you know, it's your own personal Jesus. So how do you find truth when there's books like this writing this as a description?
Yeah, well, this is what's called standpoint epistemology, or this my truth versus your truth. And the only truth that we can discover is what we find inside ourselves and our own perspective. And that's a lie, again, from the left to say that there's nothing in the world that contemplates objective, rational truth that is objective. And so what the left continues to try to do is break down this idea that there is truth to be discovered, and what our founders recognized was self-evident truth. And that's where our rights ultimately come from God, our creator, and self-evident truth. And the left wants to say that standpoint epistemology and this relativism is the only thing that you can discover. And that's why they promote this lie that boys and girls and men and women can be anything they want. A man can become a woman, a man can become a unicorn, get pregnant. There's no rationality, there's no blurred lines, there's no objective definitions anymore. And when we're teaching children this, we're teaching them that math is racist and 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4 anymore, then this is how the left is tearing down the institutions that God created, including the church and the family.
You know, Jenna, and staying on brand with what we're teaching children, Education Week poll found that 78% of teachers believe parents actually don't want their children to be taught about LGBTQ plus issues such as gender identity and expression. So if teachers know this, why is it still being taught?
Because they don't care, and they have an agenda from the state that is to reprogram and pre-program children. And so this isn't about actual education, it's about programming. And we on the right, and as conservatives who are seeking truth and are seeking parental rights, need to have our language appropriately reflect what they're actually trying to do. And so this is why so many parents are pulling their children out of classrooms. They're wanting to know the curriculum that's being taught, because if we're debating gender identity theory in college classrooms or as adults, that's the appropriate context where people can rationally analyze these ridiculous ideas. But children, especially 4 and 5 and in elementary school, are being programmed, not educated.
I mean, 4 and 5 years old, very, very young there. Jenna Ellis, as always, thanks for joining us on Sunday. Always a great conversation.